Beit Hanun, Jabalia refugee camps, Beit Lahia, and in Rafah, where our brave, intrepid fighters stood with their heads held high until they breathed their last. They inflicted heavy losses and damages on the Zionist enemy without any fear or the collective punishment inflicted upon our people. They have provided and have set an example. We have been fighting bravely since the beginning of this battle under conditions which seem to be next to impossible by way of military measures, in the face of a bunch of criminal gangs who have no regard to human rights or law. We were engaged in a disproportionate battle, be it in terms of military calculations or ethics. Yet we were firm, unshaken by the little military gear we manufactured, and above all, we were armed by our unshaken faith. We were fighting against an enemy who was assisted and backed by the entire world, where the Western countries opened their arsenals and continued to provide airborne bridge with thousands of tons of explosives and missiles. Yet the Zionist enemy continued to target our innocent civilians, killing, butchering, and slaughtering our women and children. We fought with creativity and, above all, spared no efforts to maintain the lives of the Israeli captives. This is based on our ethics and the tenets of our religion. Yet, the enemy itself targeted its own people. And in the face of this disproportionate equation, this battle has proven to be an epic, and it will be recorded in history, and it will be taught in all military academies and all textbooks as an example of creative, brave fighting against occupation forces. The epic stories will continue to be unfolded day after the other, where there is no room to mention all of them. The greatness of this battle shows best as our fellow resistance fighters marched firmly and surely on the path of martyrdom, starting by our leadership top-down, Yahya Sinwar al-Aruri, who has turned into an icon, a global icon. And among the convoy of martyrs were the top leadership of Hamas, among others, our fellow resistance fighters, whose blood, noble blood, mixed together to depict an image of great sacrifice, steadfastness, and resistance with fortitude. Second, the factors that preceded Al-Aqsa flood, namely the violation by the Israeli occupation forces of Al-Aqsa Mosque, the torture of our prisoners behind Israeli bars, and above all, the unjust siege laid around Gaza, including the continued aggression against our fellow Palestinians in the occupied West Bank. In addition to the violation and desecration of sovereignty of our neighboring countries at the hands of the Israeli occupation forces, we have come to realize that the fact is now established clear before the whole world that the Zionist occupation forces are the root of all evils, and all the schemes and plans must be designed to put an end not only to their occupation, but also to their hubris. All attempts to plant this cancerous entity into the region will be met by fierce resistance at the hands of free, honest, and noble men. The Zionist enemy has signed their own death warrant in the hearts and minds of all the people of the world. And in the face of this established fact, the responsibility grows bigger, not only on our shoulders, but also on the shoulders of our fellow Palestinians in the West Bank, whom we salute, who stood fast, namely Jenin, the sister resistance heart, stronghold, and all salute to our fellow resistance fighters in Jenin and all the towns and villages of West Bank, and call upon them to stand firmly